Hi, I'm Ruben Saltzman with Structure Tech Home Inspections. Today I have a warning for you about a scammy insulation contractor here in the Twin Cities who is taking advantage of people. So I'm bringing this up because we had a concerned reader send in a story about a family member of theirs who came really close to getting duped by this insulation contractor. This company is setting up free dinners for people, inviting people to come and listen to their sales pitch, and they're talking about how people can beat ice dams. We had a really bad year in Minnesota for ice dams. We had a ton of snow. A lot of people ended up with water coming into their houses, lots of issues. So people are very sensitive to this. People are interested on what they can do to fix their attic. And as I've mentioned many times on my podcast and blog and YouTube channel here, the fix for ice dams is all about air sealing and insulation. Those are the two big things. Now, this company does mention those, but they're also talking about some stuff that has little to no value for Minnesota houses. And one of those is the type of insulation they're adding. They say they're going to add regular insulation. I don't know what it's going to consist of, but they also talk about installing this product called a multi-layer insulation, or MLI, also known as a radiant barrier, also known as bubble wrap with foil on it. Looks like this. I get I used to get this food delivered to my house, and then they would send it in a cardboard box and they'd use this stuff. So it's basically the same thing. They're gonna put this in your attic. It's also known as snake oil foil. No, it's not known as that. I think I made that up, or I heard somebody else say it. It's snake oil. This stuff is just about useless in a Minnesota attic. It's really good at preventing radiant heat coming through into your attic or going the other direction. But when you think about the different types of heat transfer, you got radiant heat, you got conduction, convection, and then you also have air movement, which is not any of these types of traditional heat transfer. Air movement is a big deal. You fix that by sealing off the air leaks. And then you got the other types, they'll be covered by lots of insulation. Radiant doesn't have a big effect on Minnesota houses. This is so minimal that even the Minnesota Department of Commerce put out a warning to the public about a decade ago, because we had insulation contractors pulling the same scam 10 years ago. And the Minnesota Department of Commerce came out with a warning, a PSA, saying beware of insulation contractors offering foil insulation. It's not going to do much for your Minnesota home. Now, if you've got an attic where you've got a bunch of duct work up there, it may help a little bit. You've got the potential to save, I don't know, maybe up to $50 a year, but you're surely never going to break even compared to what they charge to put this stuff in, even if you were to save that $50 a year. However, most Minnesota homes don't have ductwork in the attic, which means you might save somewhere around $5 a year. I mean, savings are negligible, just about nothing. So don't listen to anybody who's trying to sell you foil insulation for your attic. It doesn't do the job in a Minnesota home. It's not worthwhile. The next thing they're trying to offer is attic fans, solar-powered attic fans. Now, I'm not going to do a deep dive into those for this video, but there is a ton of evidence, lots of papers written by a lot of people way smarter than me, talking about how attic fans don't solve problems. Even in the summertime, you put an attic fan in there. The idea is it's going to pull air out of the attic, and that air is going to have to be replaced by ideally outdoor air. It's going to pull in through the soffit vents, but in reality, if you don't have a perfectly air-sealed attic lid, it's going to pull air in through the inside of the house. So in the summer, if your attic is 130 degrees and you're pulling air out of there, you might pull conditioned 70-degree air into your attic from your house, thereby making your attic cooler, but you're doing that at the expense of your house. Your house is going to need to pull in outdoor air, making your house warmer. So making your attic cooler is not going to make your house cooler. It's just happening at the expense of your house. And even if you have everything perfectly air sealed, at that point, there's not much benefit to it either, because Now it's all air sealed, you have tons of insulation above there, and you're not gonna have to worry about the heat that you have in your attic. So, not a fan of these attic fans. And then in the wintertime, don't even get me started. That's not how to fix any of your attic problems. And then another reason I'm really frustrated with this company, this is one of the more important ones, is that they're going out to people's houses and they're giving them quotes without entering the attic. They're not even going in the attic. They're not even looking. They have no idea what's going on in the attic. They just know that they are gouging people so badly that they don't care what's up in the attic. They can still just give them a quote. And the recent quote I heard from, it was an average, small to average size house, and they were quoting $11,000 to come in and do their attic thing, which is outrageous. Don't get me started on that, but they're giving huge numbers without ever looking in the attic. And then finally, they're using high pressure sales tactics. As I said at the beginning, they're inviting people to these dinners and they say, you gotta schedule an appointment with us to come out tomorrow, like immediately. And then they send out a high pressure salesperson who's surely a regional manager of something or another. Everybody's a regional manager. And they come out and they say, we'll do all this, but this offer expires today. Once we leave, this offer's not on the table. This is a limited time offer. You gotta take advantage of it now. Sign here. It's super high pressure stuff. And anytime somebody's doing that, I mean, that alone should be a red flag where you say, please leave. Don't need you here. So my warning here is look out for insulation contractors trying to go door to door, solicit business like this, offering free dinners. We all know that there's no such thing as a free lunch. That applies to dinner too. It's the same thing. So if you know of anybody who's being solicited for this kind of thing, pass along the warning. This is a scam. You're gonna get tons of stuff that you don't need. If you're looking to fix your attic, hire a good insulation contractor. Perhaps start with the Minnesota Building Performance Association, MBPA. Yeah, that's it. They've got some really good insulation contractors there. Okay, I'm Ruben Saltzman with Structure Tech Home Inspections. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.